Hello everyone. Thank you for being here today. I hope you are doing well. My name is Rama Fadila and I'll be moderator for today's presentation. Before we start, let me introduce my group members, Inati Fitriana, Prisma Aryani, and Nabila Fairah. Today, we'll be presenting a journal entitled View of the Impact of the Quality of Public Police by Improving Morals and Ethics in Public Service for Bureaucratic by Mubarak. We hope our presentation is informative and easy to follow. Now, let's get started. Next.
Okay, in this slide, I would like to explain transparency in a democratic society during the reform area. Transparency means that the government must be open and provide citizens with accurate, truthful, and non-discriminatory information. This openness allows people to understand government policies and participate in public affairs. Regulation number 16 of 2009 support this principally by defining the right and responsibility of both citizens and state administrators. It ensures that people have access to public information while government institutions remain accountable for the information they provide. The slide also highlights the limits of relying only on legal approaches in policy making. Law usually focus on what is allowed, prohibit, and punish, but they do not always reflect the expectation and values of the society. As a result, a policy may be legally correct but still be viewed as unfair or unethical by the public. This shows that following the law alone is not enough. Policymakers must also consider moral and social values when making decisions. Therefore, successful policymaking requires a balance between transparency, accountability, legal complement, and public trust. Okay, next.
Concepts of ethics and morals. On this slide, we can see the basic concepts of ethics and morals. First, ethics can be understood as a value system. It refers to moral principles and social norms that guide individuals and communities in determining appropriate behavior. Second, ethics can also be viewed as a code of ethics. In this context, ethics consists of a set of beliefs, standards, and ideals that guide actions and decision-making processes. Third, ethics is considered a moral philosophy. It is the systematic study of what is right and wrong, good and bad, and how people should behave in different situations. The slides also highlight the difference between ethics and etiquette. Ethics focuses on whether an action is morally right or wrong, while etiquette focuses on the manner in which the action is performed. In terms of scope, ethics is generally universal and based on moral principles, whereas etiquette may vary depending on culture, customs, and social expectations. Therefore, while etiquette influences social interactions, ethics provides a deeper moral foundation for human behavior. Next.
On this slide, I will explain the concept of public service from two different perspectives, the narrow perspective and the broad perspective. First, the narrow perspective views public service as the direct delivery of goods and service to citizens. In this perspective, public service focus on meeting the immediate needs of the community through tangible service provided by the government or its partner. Example include administrative service, public security, water supply, transportation, and other essential service. The main objective is to ensure citizen satisfaction by delivering service effectively and according to what has been promised. The second perspective is the bird perspective, which sees public service as being synonymous with public administration. In this view, public service is not limited to the direct delivery of service, but also includes all administrative activities that support the public interest. These include policy making, strategic planning, organizational management, implementation, and evaluation. The focus is on ensuring that public institutions operate effectively, responsibly, and ethically to achieve collective goals. In conclusion, public service is not only about providing service directly to citizens, but also about managing public organization and policies in a way that serves society as a whole.
Okay, after understanding the basic concepts of ethics and morals, the next question is how ethical values are applied in public service. As shown in the slide, public service ethics can be understood through four different levels. The first level is personal ethics. Personal ethics are shaped by factors such as family upbringing, cultural values, religious beliefs, and individual experiences. These elements influence a person's understanding of what is right and wrong. The second level is organizational ethics. This level refers to the formal and informal rules, procedures, and organizational culture that guide the behavior and decisions of members within an institution. The third the third level is social ethics. Social ethics consists of broader societal norms and values that influence collective behavior and help maintain harmony, trust, and integrity within the community. The fourth level is professional ethics. Professional ethics are specific standards, codes of conduct, and principles established within a profession to ensure responsible and ethical practice. In conclusion, ethical behavior in public service is influenced by multiple levels. Effective public servants are expected to balance personal values, organizational expectations, social responsibilities, and professional standards in carrying out their duties. Next.
Okay, so this slide discuss ethical dilemmas in governance. Ethical dilemmas occur when public officials face situations where different ethical values or responsibilities conflict with one another, making it difficult to determine the most appropriate course of action. One challenge comes from committing ethical standards across different levels of society. For example, when social values dominate decision making, officials may prioritize personal relationship or local interests over professional principle. This can create problems such as corruption, collusion, and nepotism, commonly known as KKN. In addition, organizational conflict may arise when traditional institutional practice, such as strict seniority system, clash with modern values that emphasize performance and merit. Another challenge involves decision making. When public institutions do not provide clear moral guidelines, leaders often experience uncertainty and difficulty in making decisions. As a result, accountability may become unclear and decision makers may rely too heavily on external authorities, such as senior officials or influential figures, instead of exercising independent ethical judgment. Therefore, strong ethical frameworks are essential to help public servants make fair, transparent, and responsibility decisions. Next. So this slide highlights the importance of codes of ethics and whistleblowers in public administration. Historically, ethical guides in Indonesian public sector has been limited to certain professionals, leaving many public officials without clear ethical standards. Therefore, comprehensive codes of ethics are needed to guide behavior and ensure accountability. According to ASPA standard, public servants should uphold values such as social equity, accountability, integrity, fairness, and commitment to the public interest. A code of ethics also functions as a monitoring tool that helps prevent officials from prioritizing personal interests over public responsibility. The slide also discusses whistleblowers who play an important role in exposing unethical or illegal practice within organization. However, many whistleblowers face serious risks, including threat to their career and personality safety. Because of this challenge, governments need to provide stronger legal protection and clear incentives for individuals who report wrongdoing. By strengthening ethical codes and protecting whistleblowers, public institutions can promote transparency, integrity, and public trust.
Next, this slide discusses systemic violation, and the first issue is policy process violation. This occurs when policies or projects are designed without considering the actual needs and conditions of society. As a result, such policies may fail to solve public problems and become ineffective in practice. To address this issue, policies should be aligned with verified public interest, supported by accurate data, and developed according to rigorous standard and procedure. The second issue is organization design violation. This refers to biased organizational structures, excess, excess, excessive formalization, or the concentration and misuse of authority within an organization. This problem can reduce efficiency, create unfairness, and weaken public trust. Therefore, the recommended solution is to reorganize structure, improve transparency, and eliminate favoritism to ensure a more accountable and effective organization. By improving both the policy process and organizational design, public institutions can strengthen governance and provide better service to citizens. On this slide, we continue discussing systemic violation and their recommendation. The third issue is management violation. This includes manipulated planning process based in human resource management and a lack of transparency in financial management. Such practice can increase the risk of corruption, abuse of power, and poor service quality. Therefore, organizations should enforce strict service standards, strengthen oversight mechanism, and ensure transparency and accountability in all management process. The final point is ethical maturity. Unlike the previous point, this section focuses on a goal that public organizations should achieve. Ethical maturity refers to the ability of public officials to make flexible and situation aware dedication while still maintaining strong moral principles. Public servants often face complex situations where following rules alone may not be enough. For this reason, organizations should encourage structure and collaborative discussion to support ethical discussion making. The helps ensure that discussions are not only legally correct but also morally responsible and beneficial to society. In conclusion, improving management practice and promoting ethical maturity are essential steps toward building a professional, transparent, and citizen-oriented public service system.
Finally, I would like to conclude our presentation. Ethics is more than just etiquette or social behavior. Ethics refer to moral principles that guide public servants in making decisions and serving the community. The presentation showed that the absence of strong ethical standards can create opportunities for favorism, corruption, conclusion, and nepotism. This problem can reduce public trust and negatively affect the quality of public police and service. Therefore, legal compliance alone is not enough. Government institutions must also uphold ethical values and priorities the public interest in every policy and service they provided. As a call to action, let us work together to build public service that are accessible, human-centered, transparent, and trustworthy for all citizens.
Okay, so it's finally to presentation about the ethical and in government. So thank you for attention and enough. Goodbye.